Africa's largest dam, empowers dreams of prosperity in Ethiopia and fears of hunger in Egypt. A colossal dam is near completion, Ethiopia's stretch of the Nile, a project so large that it promises to set the country on a path to industrialization that could lift tens of millions out of poverty. The downstream in Egypt, where the Nile meets the sea, historically different pictures emerge. The dam is a giant, knitting barriers that could be used to hold back the source of nearly all the country's water. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has stoked intense nationalistic fervor in both Ethiopia and Egypt. Ethiopians see building the dam as a fundamental right, and that could bring electricity to the more than half of the Ethiopians who don't have access to home electricity. Egyptians see their fate potentially falling into foreign hands. The two countries, that means Ethiopia and Egypt as well as Sudan, also heavily dependent on Nile water from Ethiopia. Having tried in vain for years to forge a deal on how quickly the dam's reservoir should be filled, Egypt and Spain Broads has demanded that it be filled slowly over more than a decade. Ethiopia, which built the dam largely with its own money, wants the reservoir full and generating the maximum electricity as soon as the dam is complete, which is scheduled for 2023. Now, with or without an agreement, the dam is in an imminent reality, and the people in both countries are preparing for what it may bring. In Egypt, where water scarcity already is a problem, farmers are moving away from water-intensive crops such as rice. Everyone is worried about the dam, not just me, said Muhammad Abdul Khaliq, a 69-year-old lifelong farmer in Egyptian Nile Delta, where 2/3 of the country's food is grown. Even without the dam, many of the delta's irrigation canals are running dry. Multitude of factors, including climate change, poor prominent maintenance, mismanagement, and illegal water siphoning have hydrated the already thirsty country. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization says that temperatures in some parts of Egypt are expected to rise between 1.8 and 3.6 degrees Celsius over the next century, requiring more water to grow crops as evaporation in the Nile and its canals increases. Furthermore, water shortage and their effects on agriculture could have dire consequences for Egyptians' 100 million people, a population that now grows by 2 million per year. If the water becomes even less, we will not be able to plant anything. We will not be able to feed our animals, said Abdul Khaliq. I pray to God that this never happens, said the man. President Trump, fashioning himself as a broker of an agreement, has taken the side of Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, whom he once called his favorite dictator. In a statement, a spokesman for the State Department said it had withheld $264 million in security and development assistance from Ethiopia, more than double what has been previously reported, due to Ethiopia's unilateral decision to fill the dam Renaissance without an agreement with Egypt and Sudan. He spoke on the condition of anonymity according to the State Department protocols. Analysts say Washington and Cairo have a little leverage over Addis Ababa. Egypt probably would bear the brunt of consequences should an agreement on the dam's management not be reached. Egypt and the United States seem to be saying, comply, Samir, or there will be trouble, said Jason Mosley, a peace and security analyst focusing on the Horn of Africa at the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. There is not much road left on that track. The dam is already built, the reservoir being filled. Meanwhile, Ethiopian politicians and business executives wax poetic at any mention of the dam. The Prime Minister's spokeswoman even wrote a poem about it. It has been the subject of a song by Ethiopia's most popular pop singer, viral hashtag, spontaneous flag-waving march in the streets and proclamations by the Patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Support for it unites people between whom there are otherwise unbridgeable political and ethnic rivals. To many, the dam isn't just about electricity, but a portent of a glorious future. Mothers who have given birth in the dark, girls who fetch wood instead of going to school. We have waited too many years for this. Centuries, said Islam Abdi, the 20-year-old Minister for the woman and the child. When we say that Ethiopia will be a beacon of prosperity, well, it starts here. Thousands of miles down rivers in the Nile Delta, on a farm near the edge of the Sahara Desert, Muhammad Abdul Khaliq looked over what was once a field green with rice. Rice had given him prosperity, a 30-story house that provides a home for his 8 children and 20 grandchildren. Over 2 centuries in the rice-growing business, his family had acquired such wealth that they would have helicopters to plant the seeds and spread pesticides. We planted as much rice as we wanted, he recalled with a wistful smile. Now, he and others in the village of Khafr Ziyada grown only enough to feed their families. Growing water shortage triggered by climate change and population growth have altered the life of growing rice, a water-intensive crop. 2 years ago, Egypt reduced the area used for rice production by more than a half, from 1.76 million acres to 750,000 in an effort to save 3 billion cubic meters of water. At the time, the country's irrigation minister insisted to pro-government media that the measures were unrelated to concerns over the Ethiopian dam. But now, as the dam fails, farmers fear that even the rice they subsist on is under threat. Rice farming remains heavily restricted, and Abdul Khaliq has already had to pay $600 for overplanting. Irrigation Ministry officials enforce a rule that limits farmers to 4 days of water at a time from canals, followed by at least 2 weeks without the strict rationing in years, farmers say. They are rationing the water because the Nile's water are already down, said Ali Muhammad, a 42 years old Abdul Khaliq said. It's lower this year, and every year is less and less. He blamed the dam, but Mustafa al-Nagari had head of the Rice Committee of Egypt's Agriculture Export Council said that the current rice production restrictions are primarily driven by the need to satisfy the growing population's demand for water and meet national development goals.